Hey, how you doing? I'm Van. Welcome back to the only channel on YouTube that never changes. Unless you count all the times it's changed. But you weren't here before that, so it doesn't count. Fallout London coming out recently, and me being an old school Fallout fan, I say old school, I'm not like an OG or anything, but we'll get there. But I figured, you know, I've already got a little Fallout content on the channel, I might as well make a little bit more, see if the algorithm likes me, see what's going on, you know? I'm also taking this as an opportunity to try this new setup. I did a different one in my previous video, so if you like that one, please tell me. I'm just trying stuff out, seeing what sticks and what doesn't. Bob, there's a cat fight. I'm not getting between it. They'll hurt me. The best and worst companions of every Fallout game. Every mainline Fallout game. I'm not covering, like, Brotherhood of Steel or whatever that other one is. And I'm not counting Fallout 76 because the last time I played it was on launch, and I know it's gotten better since then. I just haven't gotten around to it. What can I say? As always, remember to subscribe. I just recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I want to keep that train going. I mean, come on, we gotta give special mention to dog meat, you know, like, look, he's, I love dog meat, everybody loves dog meat. Dog meat is the reason why Fallout's successful, and I stand by that. There's no other reason. Dog meat's just that good of a boy. And also, being the only companion who doesn't accidentally gun down the player character from time to time. We're gonna limit dog meat to just this entry, because otherwise he would be in every single game. He'd be number one, flat out, regardless of whatever anybody else thinks of him, you know? What's up, kid? You good? Good. Oh, there's 2 live events in Fortnite soon? The dog meat would be number one flat out, and I don't think anybody would have any complaints about that. So we're limiting dog meat to just this entry. Just know that every other best, first, worst that we're going through, all the bests have an understood dog meat to them. We're understanding that dog meat is essential to the Fallout experience. Unlike every other companion in Fallout 1, though. The companions in Fallout 1 are by far the worst the companions are in the entirety of the Fallout series. Clunky, they're annoying, they get in the way, they don't really have very many with interesting backstories or plots because it's a fairly simple game. They also shoot you from time to time because you just happen to be in the way of their bullets. I think that's why most people get shot, now that I think about it. But we're gonna give a special shout out to Ian. Ian is special because early in the game you can recruit Ian, and he has a good small gun skill. And that's going to trap a lot of players who didn't focus on small guns, because they're going to give him an automatic 10mm submachine gun that they find pretty early on. Why does that matter? Well, the AI likes to burst fire. They will not single shot whenever they have that SMG, and they will gun you down in a heartbeat. Ian will take you out from behind like a traitor whenever you get into your first combat encounter while he's got that SMG equipped. Wow. She's mad that I'm talking and not paying attention to her. But yeah, so special shout out Ian, you scumbag. Quick confession, I haven't played Fallout 2. Really, I've only ever played Fallout 1 for a few hours, and then kind of got bored and gave up. I know that you should go back and play the classics to appreciate how far video games have come, but I can appreciate the classics just by looking at them. And Fallout 2, I know, is better than Fallout 1. It is just an improvement on the same game. I apologize, I am a fake Fallout fan. So I'm just gonna pick, yeah, Gorus, yeah! Fuck you, Gorus, you— Wait, is he a Deathclaw? So yeah, while looking into this video, it turns out that there's a Deathclaw companion in Fallout 2 that I didn't know about. His name is Gorus. The fact that he's a Deathclaw is probably gonna be a bad thing, right? How are you gonna maneuver? How are you gonna navigate the wasteland with a Deathclaw in tow? Well, let me give you a little solution, my man. You're gonna wear a brown cloak. That's right, the Deathclaw wears a brown cloak, and that completely conceals his identity from every single person you come across. The only way you, as the player character, can even determine that he is a Deathclaw is by seeing that he's a Deathclaw whenever you get into contact, and he rips it off like a superhero suit. I don't know anything about how he actually plays in the game, or how him being a Deathclaw affects the gameplay. I just thought it was neat, so I wanted to include him here. Fallout 3 was my introduction into the series. I got it in Christmas of '08 for the Xbox 360, and I played it non-stop until I beat it. I had been a fan of Bethesda specifically since Oblivion, and Fallout looked like more of the same. And it was, in this case. I know a lot of people had problems with the transition from top-down to first-person, and a lot of people had even more issues with the transition from the writers in the previous Fallout games to the writers at Bethesda. But I mean, as an introduction to the series, it's such a good game. It doesn't hold up now. I don't recommend going back and playing it. If you're gonna go back and play any of the older ones, I recommend New Vegas. It's the one that still stands up and stands up well. It only got better with time, where Fallout 3's only gotten worse. But, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna include Son of Dogmeat on here. So Son of Dogmeat is a perk you can get once you have all the DLC installed that basically says that when Dogmeat dies, because companions can die, that is something that happens, that's one of the reasons why they're not very good a lot of the time. But we're getting there. But if Dogmeat dies, which is unlikely because he's pretty beefy, he's a large boy with about 400 health, I believe, then you can go back to where you found Dogmeat initially, and another dog looking exactly like Dogmeat, called Son of Dogmeat, will appear and take his place. This can be repeated infinitely, and worth noting, Son of Dogmeat has 800 health versus Dogmeat's 400. So Son of Dogmeat's got my vote, what can I say? I'm also gonna put Fox on here, like, memes aside, jokes aside, Fox is absolutely the best companion, by far, and it's not even remotely close. Every other companion has a problem with being easily killable, essentially just a regular human NPC that they've given armor and weapons to. This means they're fragile, they're weak, and generally die really easily, especially on higher difficulties. This is resolved in the next game, not in this one. Fox bypasses this, though, by simply being unkillable, and I think I do mean that literally. I've never seen anybody intentionally manage to kill a fox. They get close, but they don't quite kill them. On top of that, you get Fox mandatorily. Like, Fox shows up as part of the main quest line, and as long as you're not a dick, Fox will just hang out and enjoy the time with a minigun that shoots lasers. There's a lot of Butch hate out there, and I'm gonna go ahead and address that right now. I don't mind Butch that much. Yeah, he's a tool, he's a jerk to you, he's mean and all, he bullies you, yeah, whatever, I don't care. You're cooped up in a box with an authoritarian dictator and no sense of the outside world, you're gonna be kind of a dick, you know? And then as soon as you actually do help Butch, he ends up siding with you and being a pretty genuinely nice guy. I get not liking him though, mostly because he's weak and useless and there's no point having him. The only benefit that he actually gives you when you have him as your companion is that he can cut your hair at any time that you want. But I think the worst companion is Jericho. And I say that because Jericho is all of the same things that Butch is. A normal human character that dies very easily. Jericho is a bad man, though. Jericho used to be a raider and retired to Megaton. In retiring, he effectively gave up the raider lifestyle. And can be bought back into it really easily as soon as you meet him. He's a bastard, he's a monster, he's mean, he's evil, he's no good, and he's vile, even. Because he's built this life, he's found this retirement, and he just misses killing. That's the only reason he wants to go back, and yet he's bad at it. Being, again, just a normal human guy, and you got, One of my earliest playthroughs, whenever I was doing an evil run, I recruited Jericho, and I've never done it since. This was in like 2010, I still hold a grudge. I mentioned it in the Fallout 3 entry, but Fallout New Vegas was a much better game than Fallout 3. Not at launch, mind you. Ended up being a much more story-rich game with more decisions to make, more RPG elements, better characters, better writing in general, and just a better sense of Fallout. The original writers from the previous two games, like 1 and 2, returned to help out with this one. I'm pretty sure they actually put it together. I think that was Obsidian, if I'm remembering correctly. And they really knocked it out of the park. The game was held together with duct tape and screws whenever they first released it, but since then, and since modders have gotten a hold of it, it actually runs well, with some saying that it is the definitive Fallout experience, especially if you don't want to go back and play the originals. Equally, most of the characters are really, really good. So Veronica's gonna be my number one, because Veronica is Veronica, and she is bae. She's a Brotherhood of Steel scribe, and is pretty disillusioned with the organization when you first meet her. She doesn't even mention the fact that she's affiliated with the Brotherhood until you've gone down her personal quest line. I also play a woman most of the time, so, you know, Veronica's my romance option 99% of the time. And that would all be, you know, fine, that'd be great, but how's she do when fighting? She will knock someone out in a heartbeat. You will see her coming from downtown like Superman punching the next thing that comes even remotely close to touching you. She will save you. She's there for you. I'm also putting Lily on here because I just love Grandma, man. Like, I couldn't determine who my favorite was, so, and I've already done 2 entries for every other thing here, so might as well continue the trend. I play a stealth character typically. Usually I'm going to play a ranged character, but whenever I play a stealth character with a melee weapon, it feels really bad using any other companion besides Lily. Lily is easily the most specialized of your companions, and I mean, I love her for it. She's also so much fun, having a pretty tragic backstory on top of a pretty unique and engaging personal story, something that most of the companions have. You may be surprised that I didn't put Boone on here. Me and Boone got beef. Early on, I knew that the lady was, like, selling his wife to slavery or whatever, and I went ahead and just got her killed, but forgot to get the bill of sale, and he told me to fuck off. I went and got the bill of sale after and showed it to him. He's still just like, that doesn't make it better. Fuck you, Boone. Maybe I'm petty. Maybe Boone's a bitch. I don't know, but it's one of them. Picking the worst companion was hard. Again, most of these characters being as well written as they are, but if we're gonna be putting two on here like we've done with everything else, I'm gonna have to put, Rose of Sharon Cassidy, because, Rose was mean to me whenever I first met her, and that hurt my fragile little masculinity, and I don't like it. I think the worst companion has to go to Raul Alfonso Trejada. Trejada? I probably butchered that, I'm doing my best. But Raul is real difficult to find, like very, very hard to find. You have to really go out of your way to locate this guy when a lot of the other companions are just thrown directly at you. Coupled with a skill that is mostly useless in New Vegas, being repair as his focus, when in this game, as long as you have alternate copies of whatever weapon that you want to repair, you can repair it all the way to max, regardless of your repair skill. You couldn't do that in Fallout 3. If Raul was in 3, he'd be essential. He's also kind of boring. I've used Raul a couple of times just to have him with me, just to get him out, show him the world, let him see something besides the interior of that radio station. And let me tell you, nothing about the guy stuck with me. I couldn't tell you a single thing about him. I had to look up that he was even in the game still. Like, they removed him. It's not very good. If you're a Raul fan, I am apologizing right now for stepping on your toes, but when you're comparing a room of 10s to a 9, the 9's gonna look bad by comparison, you know? I'm going to try not to ramble too long on this one, just because I've already done an entire video ranking every single companion in Fallout 4. You can go watch it if you want to, but honestly, it's kind of bad and doesn't really stand up. It's also long, so like, there's a ranking at the end of that video if you want to just go look at it. Like, there's a list. But the best companion is Dance. I hate it. I hate that Dance is the best companion. But he is, objectively. I don't like Dance. Dance is a stick in the mud. He's boring. He's lifeless. He's wooden. But he has probably the most engaging personal story in Fallout 4 by far. It's not even remotely close whenever you're comparing to the others. Dance is also the most competent combat-wise. Having a suit of power armor from the get-go, as well as a laser rifle with infinite ammo, it makes him hard to deal with for most low-level enemies, and you get him early. It's hard to miss him, too. I just wish he wasn't so boring, you know? He's very much like a saltine crackers and a glass of water type of guy. I'm that type of guy. Curie's number 2, though. Curie's my wife. Curie's my woman. Curie is mine. I have called dibs. Oh, my mic's in my hand. But yes, I like Curie. Curie's fun. Curie's interesting. Her story's engaging. Her accent's cute. She's fun to travel with. She also is real beefy, having the most health out of any of your human companions, and having a laser rifle with infinite ammo, which we've already discussed before, as being a very good thing. And I'm glossing over her robot body, which is the form she starts in when you first initially recruit her, but I don't think of Curie as the robot. I think of Curie as the synth. I do wish she was more involved with the main quest, which is my main complaint with her. Once she becomes a synth, there isn't any more progression for her outside of discovering what creativity and inspiration means. And that's beautiful, that's wonderful, but there's a whole evil organization of shadow people in this corner over here doing some evil things with synthetic organisms, and I really think we need to do something about that, Curie. I think we could either further your medical research. The worst companion is X688. Moving on. No, seriously. He's bad. He's annoying, he's a prick, he's mean to everybody, and, isn't really that special in combat. He's got a plasma rifle, and he's got decent armor, but he is just a human. He's not a courser. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a courser, and especially if you get him early, he is not. He is not that. Also, upon arriving in pretty much any other settlement, any other faction, they immediately turn on you on seeing X688 with you. Yeah, it's a short one. It's like less than 30 minutes. That's my wife. I'm sweaty. I need to finish this. Strong's also bad, being really hard to please with any nice action immediately turning him against you. He has no real motivations, no real character traits. He's just regular super mutant that's traveling with you because he was tricked by a charismatic radio talk show host. Also, neither of these two like it when you pet dog meat, so can't be having that. But that's it. That's the video. That's all that I had to say today. I wanted to attempt a different format than what I've been doing. I want to try to do this for my next videos going forward, and I have to play with it a little bit. So this seemed like a decent option to go with. And I like Fallout. I know a decent enough amount to just eyeball for the most part on this video. So hopefully it turns out okay. But those are the worst companions and the best ones as well.
Make sure you subscribe!
Yeah, what she said. Y'all have a great rest of your night.